What's going on, everybody? I'm Sean Taylor, and welcome back to Road to the Tactical Games. Training continued this week for the small group of veterans that we have that are preparing for the tactical games that's taking place later this year in November in Texas. This week, we had the opportunity to utilize the virtual range you see behind me and the training space provided by War Training Center, and set up lanes that were similar to what you might experience at the tactical games as far as exercises conducted and then finishing with a little bit of shooting. Through this last week, each of us are at this point seeing a combination of weight loss, strength gain, and an increase in aerobic capacity from the work that we're putting both individually, also in our group training sessions. Outside of fitness, we spent a lot of time discussing overall setup, like our belt, our rifle system, and our plate carrier. Not all of us have all the gear that we're going to be using. But there's a lot of cross training going on with, like, say I do have this optic, other people may not have that optic. So we're doing some cross training and classes on this, belts, other things like that. So along with some at-home workouts and gym strength training sessions, I personally conducted 2 training sessions here at War, integrating the virtual range that you see behind me into those training sessions. This allowed me to get those trigger repetitions, those trigger pull repetitions, while drastically reducing the cost of ammo that it would have cost me to go to the range and do that. Each virtual range session that I conducted, I probably shot about 250, maybe a little bit more, combined on both the pistol and the rifle platforms. And then when we did our group training, we were well over 1,000 rounds fired on that day as a group. So you can imagine how much that ammo costs over time as you're expending all that ammo, how much that would have cost to go for a live fire range. And when you consider the ammo cost, you also have to consider the fact is, are you even on a range that's going to allow you to move around and conduct the types of exercises that we got going on here while also being on a range? So I did take a little bit of video from the solo strength training session that I conducted here at War while I was using the virtual range. So here's some of that footage to check out right now.
All right, so we're over here, War Training Center. We're in the striking room. We got the cage, we got the ring, we got some mat space. We got 135 loaded up on the bar. We're gonna do a barbell complex, deadlift, clean, overhead press, 5 reps, go shoot, 5 to 7 rounds. I did one to figure out what it's gonna be like. Let's see what's up. Let's go on the range.
As you can see, when we're here at war, we can easily transition from the workspace where exercises are being conducted at and into this virtual range here and conduct engagements on both the rifle and pistol platforms from varying distances. There's very few places that are going to have the environment and the equipment necessary to conduct training that's going to be at that level and so similar to what you would see at the tactical games. At the group workout, we set up a lane that was meant to mock and be a scale of what you may see or experience at the tactical games. And we were shooting both pistol rifle platform, as I've been saying, being that it was the first time for the other two gentlemen that were in here shooting. There was a lot of lessons learned and a lot of experience gained of the effects on your heart rate and your breathing on your ability to put accurate shots on target downrange. The group training session was an all-around success. It was a great experience. Here's some highlights from that session right here.
We're up here, War Training Center. Boom. Got the boys in here. JC, team over there in the background, right? We did a nice little workout. We had about 105 on the bar, did some cleans. We did some farmer's carries with the 80-pound, 45-pound sandbag, or 40-pound sandbag, as well as some extra sandbag carries. Some overhead shoulder walks all the way down to the end and back. And then we took some shots.
Now, back to the topic of things that were discussed and worked on outside of fitness. We all have various things that are on the way or plan to be on the way, such as ammo and other types of equipment, pouches, things like that. And one of the topics that we got to this week and we got a chance to cross-train on was weapon optics for the rifle platform. As highlighted in last week's episode, I am currently running an LPVO on my rifle, and I have a decent amount of shooting experience with this style of optic. This Strike Eagle 1-6 that you see here is a low power variable optic, or LPVO, having the ability to be adjusted on the fly from a low magnification all the way up to 6 times magnification, and can have different style reticles for various shooting applications as well. We didn't go too in depth with the class, covering basic stuff like basic operation, how to mount, where to mount, and things like eye relief and your distance from the optic when you're shooting through it. If you'd like to see a full class dedicated to the LPV optic, comment down below and maybe I'll throw a video together like that. We also made quite a few discoveries about just our gear in general, like our plate carriers and our belt. While I was probably one of the only people there with a belt system, pretty much everybody had a plate carrier, and definitely need to work on things like having it adjusted and tightened to keep it from jumping up and down while you're doing physical movement and things like that, clapping you in the chin. It didn't feel very good. My belt system definitely had some lessons learned. I thought my mags would be in a good place where it was, but what I found out is as I was farmer carrying, the AR mags were a little hot, kind of rubbing on my arm. So there's a lot of things to be adjusted. This isn't even my permanent final kit that I'm taking to competition, but by conducting this training and exercising with the equipment, you're gonna find those flaws in your equipment prior to the competition. With all that being said, it was a great overall week of training and preparation for this event collectively, with a lot of lessons learned and gains made. I'd like to thank anyone who's watched the series so far. Make sure to like and follow if you want to stay updated on the progress as we continue to train for this event and get closer to the Tactical Games event. I'll leave links down below like I did last time to War Training Center, as well as to the Tactical Games, if anyone's interested in signing up for either one of those things. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Road to the Tactical Games, presented by War Tactical and War Training Center.